Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and the final video of 2021. Today I am counting down my top 10 statues of the year. I was actually planning on uploading an unboxing today, but my buddy Jem said if I didn't do this video, I couldn't be part of the Cool Kids Club. So I whipped together this list and we are gonna count them down. So in order to be on this list, these are statues that had to have been received by US collectors this year. They had to be statues that I personally bought and statues that I actually opened. And these are all licensed statues. I got a lot of customs in this year, so maybe I'll have to do a top 10 of those, but that'll have to wait. I still have some boxes sitting over there waiting to be opened, so those unfortunately don't qualify. And there may be some really good ones that are on your list that I didn't pick up, so don't hate me for it. So most of the pieces on this list I have videos for, so if you guys want to check that out after this video, feel free to do so. There are a few here that I'm still working on, so those videos will be out shortly. So coming in at number 10, we have the Prime 1 Studios 1/3 scale Red Sonja. Now this was actually the video that I was going to upload today. I had this piece for a while sitting in the box. I actually had my wife unbox and do the review. Pretty entertaining video, but this is a really stunning piece. It doesn't really fit in with my quarter scale Marvel collection, so right now I've got it with my DC 1/3 scales, and it actually looks pretty cool there. It's a Red Sonja statue, so very sexy piece. It's got her battling this giant serpent, all these little snakes crawling around, very detailed, bunch of different switch outs. I'll probably wind up displaying this thing by itself eventually, just because it is really unique. But that's all I'll say about it right now. If you guys want to learn more about it, make sure to check out that review when it releases. Definitely a winner from Prime 1. Moving on to number 9, we have a Transformers piece. This is the Imaginarium Art Devastator. This is a massive statue. If you guys saw my unboxing, you'll know how difficult it was to put together. There were some fitment issues, but once this thing was assembled, it was pretty amazing. A jaw-dropping statue, definitely commands attention once anyone walks into the room. Their eyes immediately go to this bright green and purple beast that's sitting in the corner of my room. A combiner with green construction vehicles, I mean, how can you go wrong with that? Pretty dynamic for being such a large piece. It just towers over everything else in my collection. This thing came in 2 gigantic boxes that I had to haul in the rain. It also had a pretty hefty price tag, but well worth it to have a Devastator in the collection. Number 8 is another Transformer, one that I recently reviewed over on our other channel, EvanTube HD, and that is the XM Studios Soundwave. Soundwave was a very popular Transformer growing up. I think XM did a fantastic job with the details, getting all the little micro cassettes in there as well, creating a nice diorama. He is a little bit on the smaller side. I wish he was a little bit bigger. The detail and craftsmanship on this piece made up for that. Enough to put him in my top 10. It is a large and heavy piece, not as large when you're comparing it to larger and heavier pieces. Number 7 is the Legendary Beast and XM Studios 1/3 scale Thor statue. This is another piece I got a while back. I filmed the review, I just haven't gotten around to editing it. Another tremendous statue. This is a great rendition of the classic Thor. Comes with 3 different head sculpts, fantastic base, very nice sculpted cape, and hopefully I'll be releasing that video sometime in the beginning of the year. For number 6, we have the XM Studios Planet Hulk. I thought this was an incredible piece. I've got this one standing next to the XM Studios Red Hulk, and both of those were traditionally sculpted by Aaron Ray Perez. I love the Sideshow Gladiator Hulk as well, but I think this one edges it out just because of its sheer presence. You can actually change this guy into a different statue with the King Hulk switch outs, give it a completely different look. But this guy is a monster. Coming in at number 5, we have the Prime 1 Studios Batman Hush Batcave Edition. This is my favorite Batman statue. We've got Batman walking in the Batcave, coming right out of a comic book panel from the Hush storyline. We've got the cave elements, the computer, just a fantastic looking statue. This thing has a massive sculpted cape. It came with a bunch of different head switch outs, including the bonus Hush switch out, which I love to display alone as a bust. They just announced the black version. Personally, I prefer the blue. I have enough black suited Batman. I am going to be taking a break from actually buying Batman statues. There's one that I have my eye on, but I think after this one in 1/3 scale, I am done, but we'll have to see what comes out. You never know. Moving on to number 4 on the list, we have the Infinity Studios Bruce Lee life-size bust. If you guys watch my other channels, you might know that this one came in for Christmas this year. I unboxed it. I am about to do the review for that one. Really amazing piece. Comes with these real nunchucks right here. It's got the glass eyes, the silicone skin, the rooted hair. It's got stubble. It's got flexible fingers. Some people were saying the likeness was a little off, but I think that's the case for pretty much every statue that's out there. If you stare long enough, you're gonna find something. But for me, this is the ultimate Bruce Lee statue. So I'll have more pics and a full review up shortly. I think I'm done with these life-size busts just because of their size. I don't have anywhere to put them, but depends who they come out with, I guess. Coming in at number 3, we have the XM Studios Red Hulk. So I just mentioned the Red Hulk video. I forgot that I put it at number 3. I forgot I actually got it this year. Love the presence of this thing. These are definitely statues on steroids here. Just muscle on top of muscle. There weren't any switch outs with this one, which is fine with me, and I wouldn't change a thing about it. So coming in at number 2, we have the XM Studios XMen vs. Sentinel diorama. So this is a 1/6 scale statue, but it is bigger than anything else in my collection. I had to get 2 Besta TV stands and put them together in order to have a platform to put this thing. The base is massive, the Sentinel is huge, and you also get a bunch of these X-Men to put around it. Unfortunately, it included some of the less popular X-Men characters due to licensing, but I was able to fill it up with some 1/6 scale X-Men from other companies, and I think it looks fantastic. The details on the Sentinel are just out of this world. You really get a sense of action, a battle scene here where you can walk around the entire thing and see something new from every angle. This year I also reviewed the first Iron Studios Sentinel diorama. That one was a 1/10 scale statue. Although I like the classic nature of the Sentinel, the humans were just too small for me. And since I'm also collecting 1/4 scale X-Men, I couldn't see myself going down that rabbit hole of getting all these tiny little X-Men as well. Some of them look tremendous. They are at a very good price point if you don't want to spend the money on the larger scale statues. They were just too small for me. So instead, I opted for this big boy, and I am not regretting that decision in the least. Now, had XM Studios included or offered companion or proximity X-Men pieces, this piece would definitely be my number 1. But because they didn't do that, my number 1 spot is going to the XM Studios Grimlock. This was probably one of my most anticipated pieces. I think I pre-ordered this thing back in 2019. It finally made its way to the collection, and this thing is just incredible. Like all the other Transformers, full of details. Love the sculpt, love the paint job. Another one of my favorite Transformers growing up, a robot that transforms into a T-Rex. I had the toy as a kid, and seeing it in this extra cool form made it the ultimate statue. Comes with several different arm switch outs. Very solid and very heavy statue. Definitely one that I love staring at every time I walk into my office. So there you go. Those were my top 10 statues of 2021. You might have noticed that there weren't any Sideshow pieces on this year, and that's because I really didn't buy too many Sideshow pieces. There were some really good ones. We had the Harley Quinn Hell on Wheels. I thought that one was fantastic. Loved the sculpt and paint job. Loved the portrait on that one. I also recently got in the Symbiote Spider-Man, which I thought was fantastic as well. Oh, and I almost forgot, we also had the Daniel Bell Silver Surfer. That piece came out great. It also came with that nice Nova proximity piece. So 3 very nice pieces that came from Sideshow. They just couldn't compete with the big boys here. And now that I'm looking at the list, it looks like I favor very large statues. The lightest one in here might be 50 pounds or so. They're either a 1/3 scale, a 1/10 scale Transformer, which basically equates to the size or weight of a 1/3 scale statue. We've got a giant robot in there, and we have 2 giant Hulks as well. So what can I say? I just love the big guys, I guess. Not to say that the little ones aren't cool either. It's just these things command so much presence, and they're just really fun to look at. All right, guys, so there you have it. Those are my top 10 licensed statues of 2021. Let me know what you guys think of the list. Hopefully you guys like Transformers, otherwise you're gonna hate this list. Let me know what your top 10 were in the comments down below. If you agree with my list, if you have any that you'd add. But definitely looking forward to 2022. I've got a bunch of stuff coming in the new year. I've got some big plans for the channel. So make sure, if you're not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, click the bell, and we'll see you guys next year. Bye-bye.